All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So a really interesting set of three here. Really, at least two of the three I'd say are really interesting. So TTOO. Okay, I know it doesn't look like a lot. We only see a negative 2%. That seems kind of insignificant. Man, I'm seeing a lot that I really want to talk about, and it really is all about the 50. If you remember my last TTOO video, I was confident that we were going to break this right here. I very much was wrong, right? Even loses the 8 and goes to the 20. And, you know, this morning seemed like it was going to be a really silly day, and it clearly wasn't. But it got my little, antennas tingling, you know what I mean? So I am excited to talk about this one. MULN, I'll be honest with you, man. MULN is still just doing the MULN thing, okay? And the lines are getting really close, and I know it seems like a really big move is coming soon, and in a lot of ways, I think I agree. I just sincerely can't tell if it's going to be up or down, all right? And you know I'm not here to like pretend I know stuff that I don't know. Like there is no crystal ball here, right? But MULN, it seems like something soon is going to happen. And yeah, end of the day, I need a reason to believe history's not going to repeat itself. You know what I mean? And then GFAI, guard force. Okay. I have a lot of things I want to talk about guardforce. I'm going to save it till the end, but there was someone I was talking to not that long ago that like was saying, is it going to come to 8? It hit 8. I hope you bank that. But either way, guardforce, there's a lot I want to talk about. I'm leaning towards pump and dump, but again, we'll talk about that when we get there, okay? Real quick, before we go any further, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We're going to take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this video on the internet, comment good or bad. Look, if you disagree with me, I'm not here to hate on you, all right? When educated people share some thoughts and opinions, really good things can happen, all right? So let's get into it and let's talk about TTOO. Again, I was bullish on this ride up, okay? I was very loud about it. It did really well. I hope a lot of us made some good money there. Again, you know, if you watch my videos, I'm generally louder about getting things wrong than getting things right. Like, I don't need to say I'm a good trader. I love it when my viewers do it for me. You know what I mean? Like, it just sounds better from you guys than from me. But yeah, I thought this was going to go up. And just like we saw today, this day actually opens up here. You can see in the box over there, open at 17 where my line is. It opens above the red line, but unfortunately closes under and drops, right? We do see the same thing today. Again, look at the box over there. We open up here at 14. The average 50 is at 13. So, I mean, it looked like we were ready to do what we couldn't do here. Unfortunately, again, we just drop back under, right? So, you know, it's disappointing, obviously, but in some ways, hey, I'm glad we're retesting this line soon. I'm glad the 20 moving average held right here. I'm a little disappointed the 8 couldn't hold, but you know what? Honestly, I'm still glad that this 20, and I mean, it's not a big one, but there is a little bit of an uptrend here. I'm not going to draw the trend line, but it's holding a little bit. Ultimately, it has to hold this orange line, the 20 moving average, okay? It should hold this 9 line, which is basically, it's not even that big a candle in all honesty. So like, you know, for me, it's, and believe me, I see that my line basically caught this candle. Like, I don't have a lot of weight on this line. This 20 moving average, this orange one, is way more important. Believe me when I say that, okay? But the volume was big. And again, I think with the volume cracking heavy, with this thing gapping up all the way here over the 50 moving average, like I said, it seemed like more. And you know, as I'm looking at this, I think what I would do is I would make that my entry. I would, and again, I wish I had more decimals, believe me. But this actually never, did it even hit 15 cents? I don't think so, right? Yeah, high of the day never hit 15, but I would really want, where's 16 at? Man, that's a very high 15. It's like you can see my lines right there, and then the 15, 16 borders right there. Again, I wish I had more decimals on the system, okay? But I think, and you know, I will do it. I don't know if I think I gotta clear some alerts. I would set an alert at 16 cents. Yeah, nice. I think at 16 cents, you've cleared the 50. You've obviously cleared these two as well, right? You've cleared most of this, and it should be a good run from 16 to potentially 27. Let me go to the weekly to see if there's any moving average. There isn't. There's really no moving averages in between that. 16 is my money line here. 16 really is. Again, don't underestimate the difficulty of this 50 moving average. Just as I zoom out, the last real time we made any noise was between January and February. Okay, we never even really broke it like significantly. And let's just keep zooming back. Just sweet goodness. This was probably the last time. January 2001. All right. So this 50 line on TTOO is no joke. All right. And hey, for real, do not look at this $64 price from not that long ago and be like, oh my gosh, this thing's at 10 cents. It was like, don't do that. That's silliness. And that's how you lose more money than you win. Trust me. But again, if we can go from 16 cents all the way up to 27, that's a lot of money. That's something I would love to look for. And again, you saw me set that alert, right? I know I flashed the weekly really quickly, but it's an interesting weekly actually, because we're still over the 8 moving average. Look, this one broke it. Not good confirmation, not good confirmation. Maybe next week, because tomorrow's Friday, right? Shit, I hope Friday isn't that bad and it like takes us away. But maybe next week is the one that bounces off this and goes up. We'll see. Again, I think just overall, that 16-cent line is really where I want to go. Again, I just want to talk about volume one more time. This is a big volume day, okay? Sadly, most of the big volume days have actually been green buys. I'm a little surprised that it was this low, but all it went down was 2%. This is a really big candle, and all it did was 2%. You know what I mean? So in some ways, I'm not worried. I just want to see what post-market's doing. Nothing significant. This thing has to hold the 20. I would love it if this thing can get to 11. I am totally loving it if we can get to 16 and we break my alert, okay? TTOO. Again, I wanted it to do more here. It definitely failed, but the moving averages catch and give us a reason to look and believe, right? So let's get into MULN. And again, man, MULN, the entire story is the 20 moving average, okay? If you've been watching my MULN videos, there isn't very many other things I've been saying, okay? It looks like, and really a lot of this is what I just said on the last TTOO coverage. I don't know if you watched it or not, but look at the box over there. This day opens at 28, opens well above the average 20 at 23 cents. You can see the orange line again in the box over there. It opens up here, but unfortunately goes all the way down there and closes under. Opens above the line, closes under. Opens above the line, closes under. Never gets there. Opens above, closes under. We have literally never closed over the 20 on any of these days. And for me, that's no surprise because, again, if you watch my videos, I talk about it. Just look at history. We do the same thing. We open up here at 739. That's over the orange line. But unfortunately, we close down here at 728. We're under the line. Same thing here, right? Like historically, MULN has been, and again, the split was right here, all right? This is pre-split issues with the average 20, all right? So I'm not even blaming the split on this, okay? And you know, until, and I talked about this in the opening thoughts, I don't know if you skipped over it or not, but look, these moving averages are starting to get really tight. Okay, and generally speaking, again, let's look at history. We come down, we get really tight, and we either are able to go up, clearly that's not the case here, or we go down. Let's look at it again, just like you can see it a bunch of times as it happens. Clears away, gets really tight, drops, all right, goes up later, right? But there was another one, maybe it's here. I'm just kind of like, right here's another good one. Goes well under, gets really tight, loses it. Gets a little tight, but not as tight as that, obviously, and keeps going down. Like MULN, don't get me wrong. Yes, that went up. Yes, that went up. Yes, that went up. I only said that 3 times in all of this trading span, right? Like I have nothing to do with these lines. These are computer generated lines that, you know, I just follow them. Like these are my manual ones, right? Like if you can't crack these lines, what am I gonna, and like, again, I can't manipulate these lines, right? Like These are just price history things, and until Mullen makes me believe the 20 is no longer an issue, I keep saying the same thing. Bad things happen under the 8 and the 20. And just because you're tight doesn't mean much. You definitely can go up. You definitely can go down. And you know, in some ways, I've been saying that this 26 line is my money line. I don't know if I want to kind of like talk about this 17-cent line. Where's 18 at? Maybe 18 or 19 is justifiable. And as I say that, I think I'm actually going to set an alert. Damn, I got to delete some. But I think I would set an alert for 19 cents. I think I wouldn't mind trading 19 to maybe even at least that 23. Hopefully that breaks. That takes us to the 26. And then again, that takes us 26 to the 50 moving average. But I love this line the most. It takes us over all this little BS noise. Red, 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 red should be a green, 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 green up to the next line, right? But arguably speaking, if you can get over this big candle, and then I kind of went up a little bit to 19, which is basically like half of this one, I think it might be worth it to go 19 to hopefully 23, 24. That maybe gets you a little early shot at that 26 line if it breaks. But overall, though, I'm telling you, Mullen, one more time, where I've started it, it has not been over the 20. And actually, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for 7 trading days, we have actually been under the 8 and the 20. Right? 8's been up here the whole time, and we've clearly, like I said, never broken the 20. So all of these days have been under the 8 and the 20. Bad things happen under the 8 and 20. That's actually looking like a death cross. It looks like the smaller line is going to go under the bigger line. Like when they go above it, we call it a golden cross. When it goes below it, we call it a death cross, right? So that was a golden cross that just wasn't golden enough. That could be the opposite death cross that kind of reminds us that no, that one wasn't good. So honestly, I'm way more worried about Mullen than anything, but I think the fact that this 26 line is getting so far away, and I talked about it the last time I made the video, right? Like I would have loved to make this trade because it would have been a 3x, right? Basically 25 to 75. Now we're kind of looking at a 25 to 50. As this line keeps moving down, the juice here is less and less to squeeze, right? So I think that might be why I'm coming with this like 19-cent number. But again, for all I know, the run from 15 to 19 will be all the gas that it has and it runs out, but still kind of a healthy RSI, I guess. So overall, look, this is a bad weekly. I'm glad we're holding this 14-cent line, this 50% of this big candle here, but yeah, again, there's nothing here telling me good things. You know what I mean? And I'm just letting the colorful lines give me my opinions, not like my little internal, you know, personal thoughts and opinions, right? These colorful lines, they do me well. So, hey, if you disagree, let me know, all right? I'm not here to hate on you or anything like that. Like, educated people sharing thoughts and opinions, man, I'm telling you, good things happen, all right? So let's talk about guardforce. I'm gonna be real honest. You know I don't care much about after hours, but I'm dying to know. We went down hard. Look at that. Okay, let's come here. Okay, I said it in the beginning, all right? So even that post-market knowledge doesn't change it. If you go into the opening thoughts towards the end, before the introduction, I said, I think guardforce today was more of a pump and dump than it was anything, all right? Why do I think that? First and foremost, let's look at this right here, all right? Day before, volume, you can see down there kind of close to the bottom, VOL is 400,000 shares, okay? Day before that, 1 million shares, okay? Day before that, 900K shares, okay? Day before, 600, like, let's say we're averaging around 1 million shares. We go ahead and more than 60 exit today and get as high as 67 million shares, okay? I for sure saw the news, all right? There was some robotic surgery thing in Singapore. All right, 2 comments there. Number 1, Singapore is not a big market, all right? Yes, I know there's a lot of bodies there, and yes, I know in general, like the Asian market is seen as a big one, but generally that's China, not anywhere else, all right? From there, look, The fact that they introduced it doesn't mean that much. It's what happens afterwards, because now they're going to forecast some sales to it. They better get some more hospitals. They better expand beyond Singapore. Like, it was great that they released the news. And again, I talked about it on one of my comments. It's easy. Okay, perfect. This 402 line was all-time lows. Like, if this didn't happen today, we really could have gone down pretty hard. So I'm super glad we held all-time low support and went up. I just honestly, I don't believe that these three lines broke. I really believe we're going to come down to 487. I don't even think we're holding the 50. Because let's just look at the 50 real quick. Yeah, great things can happen when we break it, but I mean, it's been a long time since the 50 was a thing, and I mean, instead of even bouncing on it, it just completely drops. Obviously, there was an offering news here, so maybe it didn't really give the 50 a chance to really show its thing. I'll admit that. I'll give some validity to that. But again, I still don't believe. And again, you watch my videos, you know I don't care much about post-market, but seeing that big a post-market drop is not a good thing. Here's the next thing I want to call out real quick. All right, let's look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ ain't looking that great today. A 2% day on NASDAQ's big. We actually lost the 8 moving average today, okay? The next thing I want to show is AI. AI looked like it was doing well. Last 2 days have not done well. Next thing I want to show is Palantir. Ooh, interesting. Then let's look at the little guys, all right? SoundHound, devastating day, all right? BBAI, devastating day. Bullfrog, BFRG, not as devastating. All right. But again, starting to see some bad things right there. Overall, I think guardforce had a really good pop. I really hope you made a lot of money. I'll be honest, I regret not doing it. I saw this thing at like a plus 20% around 8 o'clock my time. I think I just got really scared of NASDAQ instead of just jumped in on the hot trade, and I do very much regret that personally. But again, I'm not seeing a reason to believe. I don't think the headline was wildly sustainable. I think it was just a really important thing to happen at all-time low. Hopefully we can hold the 8, and maybe this will help. But again, I actually do believe, I don't even think we're holding this 509, right? Maybe 509, but the number I'm going to say again is 485. I think we're coming down at 485. So hey, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, you know, as always, thank you.